Hi, this is Dale, and these are my books. Today we're going to be talking about two books recently, but we're going to be focusing on The Secret Agent. There we go, by Joseph Conrad. And we will also be giving a mention to another book called The Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad as well. This is going to be very brief. The Secret Agent by Joseph Conrad, I think it's better than the novel that I just did a video of. I think it's better than Under Western Eyes because it's a little bit more believable, and also the format of the book is a little bit more straightforward. With The Secret Agent, essentially it's about a man. He's running a little shop in the late 1800s, early 1900s in London, and he sells pornography. He's involved in sort of shady deals. But really, he's a secret agent. He's working for, well, we're not exactly sure who he's working for. It sort of gets a bit mixed up. But essentially, we can assume he's working for the Russian embassy. And the Russian embassy, and the Tsarist Russian embassy, wants the secret agent to be a provocateur, to get anarchists in Britain to commit terrorist atrocities as an excuse for the British authorities to crack down on anarchist organisations. And the reason why the Tsarist authorities want this is because the anarchists in Britain are able to organise fairly openly with each other, and that poses a threat, of course, to the Russian Tsarist government. What happens is that one day the handlers, the Russian handlers, say to the secret agent that they're really not very pleased with him at all, and that they want him not only to report back to the Russian authorities, but they want him to carry out an act of terrorism. And the act of terrorism first strikes the secret agent as being really bizarre because it is so crazy. And it's to blow up the Greenwich Astronomical Observatory in London. So the secret agent can understand if they want him to blow up an army base, or they want him to assassinate the members of the royal family or something like that. But to blow up an astronomical observatory just seems to be a bit crazy to him. Push comes to shove, and a bomb does go off, but he doesn't let the bomb off. He actually arranges for the bomb to be carried to the astronomical observatory by his wife's younger brother. And his wife's younger brother is in fact cognitively challenged. And we don't know why, but the bomb goes off prematurely. So instead of the wife's younger brother planting the bomb and having the bomb go off and damaging the astronomical observatory, it actually kills him. He ends up in pieces of meat. And this really destroys the wife of the secret agent. And in the last 30 pages, there is a suicide scene, there is a revenge scene, and the wife actually ends up murdering the secret agent because she knows that her husband has killed her younger brother, whom she dearly loves. I enjoyed The Secret Agent. It goes a bit slowly, but in the last 30, 40 pages, Joseph Conrad really packs in a lot of action, and it shows he can write action, he can write speedily. It's just that he doesn't do it for most of the novel. The other thing about The Secret Agent is the chronology is a little bit more straightforward. With The Secret Agent, one event happens and then that's followed by another event and then that's followed by another event. With Under Western Eyes, on the other hand, there's a discussion about one thing that happens and then he backtracks in time, and so there's a bit of an overlap, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to work out what the whole time is. This brings me to something about which I'm going to say very little, and that is his book, The Heart of Darkness. The Heart of Darkness is a very short novel. It's 151 pages long. It's supposed to be fantastic and wonderful. It's supposed to be heartrending. It is supposed to be talking about the horrors of colonialism in Africa. I didn't see much that was horrible. If one knows anything about colonialism in Africa, then you know that, or anywhere else where colonialism happens, that it wasn't a bed of roses. That by today's standards, we would say that there were multiple systematic human rights abuses. But these are not dwelt on in any detail in Heart of Darkness. Um, I have read in my life, I have read this book 4 times. I've really given it a go. I've really tried to understand why it has the reputation it has. And after the fourth reading, I just have to say, I just don't get it. I don't think it's particularly well written. Um, I just don't think Conrad writes very well. Um, I don't think a lot happens. I think it's slow, and I think it could have been done just a lot better. So I'm not one of these people who read books and novels and everything's wonderful and everything's brilliant and everything has to be read. I'm happy to say that from these 3 books, The Secret Agent, Under Western Eyes, and Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad is not my thing. But I also understand that Joseph Conrad wrote a number of other novels based on a very large chunk of his life when he was a seaman. And these are placed in various parts of the world. And apparently those novels are quite different to these 3 novels about anarchist communities, essentially, and a terrorist act, and also colonialism in Africa. So I've given Conrad a go. I am not tempted to read these novels again. I won't read these novels again. Um, if someone can come up with a very, very good reason why I should read another Conrad novel, possibly based on his seafaring experiences, I'd be happy to give that a go. But otherwise, Joseph Conrad, just not for me. I hope that has been of some help, and thank you for listening.